A double strike for Stephen Barnett helped Dunbeholden defeat Faulkland FC in a goal fest in Sunday's doubleheader opener at the Draxall Stadium. A matchup between first and fifth place in the Jamaica Premier League served up a fierce encounter which ended a goalless draw but could have gone either way with several chances created. Chapelton Maroons blanked five-time champions Tivoli Gardens 2-0 on Monday night to register their third win of the season. Colin Anderson, the difference maker again for Cavalier in their 1-0 victory over Vere United. Welcome to JPL 30, the highlight show for the Jamaica Premier League. Before Sunday's opener, Dunbeholden lost their two previous fixtures. The St. Catherine-based outfit came out firing to remind everyone that they can play with a 4-2 victory over Faulkland FC. Stephen Barnett scored twice. He also had the opportunity to score another for a hat-trick, but his penalty kick was saved. Here are the highlights. Donald Oliver and Dwight Jeremiah were in the commentary box.
Draxall comes alive this afternoon, this Sunday afternoon. Another wonderful afternoon for football in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digital. Two games on offer. And the first on the agenda, Dunbeholden against Faulkland. Both these teams with different agendas, hoping to make a mark. We're going to take a look at the starting line for both these teams, starting with this Dunbeholden unit. Damien Hyatt, of course, is between the sticks, and in front of him, Ricardo Thomas. Devontae Hodges is in the back line, the schoolboy for Dunbeholden. Beside him, Zakia Wilkes and O'Dane Samuels in the middle of the park. Tyrese Go, Fabian McCarthy, Malachi Douglas, and Shakeen Powell up front. Peter McGregor and Stephen Barnett. Yeah, Faulkland, they don't have a lot of goals in their lineup, I can tell you that. Just Enrique Gordon with the 3 goals to his name, and Neil Clark with just the 1 goal. So to Sajay Anderson, part of a back 4 alongside Val Armstrong, Kyle Anderson, and Michael McLeod. In goal, of course, David Swaby. In the middle of the park, Jelani Nicholson, Deshaun Woolery, and Donovan Carey. The aforementioned number 5, Gordon on the left, Ricardo James, and Neil Clark beside him. Let's take a look at the full-time highlights here. And McGregor winning that one, and then supplying a wonderful assist for Stephen Barnett, who made no mistake. Showed real determination to get the ball off, and Barnett with a slick finish into the far corner. Nothing that David Swaby could have done about that one. And that's how they opened the scoring. Seemed like eons ago. Then wonderful interplay. Samuels driving that one across, and it was an own goal by Michael McLeod at the back post. Samuels, the provider of the confusion and chaos inside the box. And McLeod, I reckon that he couldn't quite help himself. And then this effort was charged down, and the header dug out well. That was wonderfully done. Nicholson with the header. And look at that save from Damien Hyatt. Going down low to dig that one out. And then Faulkland getting a goal back through Thomas, Rondell Thomas, his first this season. A powerful finish. Hyatt may be a little bit disappointed that he couldn't keep that one out, but it was powerfully driven, and Thomas was on the score sheet. A substitute made at halftime, 1 of 3, and then what a finish that was. He had a couple bites of the cherry and finally came up with the fruit with the second attempt. Did Stephen Barnett. Nicely done. And he continued to have a good time in the opposition box. Handball there by Brian Burkett, sliding across, trying to stop the cross, landed on the ball with his hand, and then the finish. A good one. Val Armstrong getting his first goal this season, and then another penalty was awarded. He was cut down inside the box. Shakeen Powell. Barnett looking for his hat-trick. He was denied by David Swaby, and he wouldn't get the hat-trick this afternoon. But then, good hustle by Stephen Williams, pulled it back, and then made it easy. Did Rohan Brown open his account this season with a good finish. And that was 4-2 to Dunbeholden, and it was beyond doubt at that stage. That's all she wrote for this game. Dunbeholden relatively comfortable in the end.
It's more of a training ground, and you know, we are coming off of 2 losses, so I think today we have to come out here and give us the all that we got so that we can come out victorious today. It's just that's something that we have to build upon going forward for the rest of the season.
You're a part of everything bright and beautiful for Dunbeholden today. Those crosses, those delivery, one put in by Faulkland, they couldn't deal with it, McLeod. And then you felt Barnett couldn't miss. Is that something you work on day in, day out with those crosses?
Yeah, it's something that I'm doing from I'm very younger, so it's going to come naturally, even though I haven't played right back in a very long time. But, you know, it's fine, it's in here. Whenever you get the chance to play out there, you're going to give your best.
I mean, we had some injuries, as I said before, because Joel Powell, who started in the last 2 games since I took over, he had a knee injury, so we had to sit him out. You know, but I thought the players coming in could hold up, but you know, they failed to follow instruction today, because I think I did the homework on Dunbeholden, and we came out and they followed the instruction for about 15 minutes. We got back a goal. They followed it again with crosses, because I don't think Dunbeholden, the last 3 games that I watched them, they weren't defending crosses well, and they followed the instruction again. Sajay followed the instruction again. We got back a goal every time we were knocking on the door.
Well, first of all, we are pleased with the victory. That's what we came here for. We always knew that it was going to be tough. I mean, but we came out with the victory, and we are very pleased with that.
Do you feel that you should have had a penalty in that first half?
Well, you know, I don't really complain about referees' decision. Nobody is perfect. At the end of the day, we came here for the victory and we have gotten it. So we're just going to assess how we play.
Sunday's curtain closer in the Jamaica Premier League had no goals in it, but it was an entertaining end-to-end game. Both teams creating several chances, but matching each other in the defensive third of the field. Leading goal scorer Trevante Stewart searched for his 14th of the season, but is kept quiet for most of the game by the Harbourview defence. Here are the highlights. Donald Oliver and Dwight Jeremiah were in the commentary box.
Hello and welcome back to Drax Hall, the Drax Hall Sports Complex in the parish of St. Anne. And the home team, Mount Pleasant, considered to be the favourite this season. They are hosting the champions, Harbourview. But let's look at the starting lineup for Mount Pleasant first. Daniel Russell is between the sticks. They have a back four: Kimani Campbell, Jamoy Tope, Shaquille Dyer, Sulay McCullough, 5-man midfield, Leonardo Jefferson, Alwyn Harvey, Leonardo Rankin, Donovan Sigree and Himoni Bailey are all behind their leading striker, and the league's leading striker, Trevante Stewart, with 13 goals to his name. Anthony Bennett is the custodian for Harbourview. In front of him, Odlin Harding, the former skipper, Johnny Talbot, Ryan Wellington, the current skipper, Oshin Staple, over on the right side of the defence in the middle of the park. Krista J. Daly, he wears the number 10, Shamari Dyer, Kasim Priestley and Trey Bennett on the right side of the midfield up front. Take a look at this. Nicholas Hamilton, but Garth Stewart, their number 16. Let's see how that one will work out, the former holding midfielder. As we take a look at the full-time highlights here. Mount Pleasant had the majority of the chances in this one. Bailey's effort, ambitious, but it really gave an indication as to how he approached this game. And this effort was just wide of the mark from Krista J. Daly. He was involved in most everything Harbourview's way. Then that effort from Hamilton, Russell making the initial save. Dyer really should have converted. That was a magnificent save from Russell. But the follow-up from Shamari Dyer over the crossbar. That was Harbourview's best chance in this game. Hamilton, his effort was blocked. I reckon that was going goalwards as well, but I think Russell would have dealt with it. And then in the second half, the game really came to life as both teams went for it. Trevante Stewart was quiet for most of it. And there was a coming together here that could have turned ugly. McCullough overreacted as it wasn't a head injury. But both players getting yellow cards there as Kimoni Bailey on the end of that ball, putting that one over the top. Really didn't give up on that pass. It was a good try. And Trevante Stewart with a shot on target. Was a slight deflection there, but Bennett holding on in the end. And that was that. The final play of the game. The header was misplaced, and that was that. Yep.
Well, I'm feeling fairly well. I think I played fairly well today. I think I get a few chances where I think I should put away, but otherwise than that, my game was well.
You talk about putting chances away that you got. You served up a lot on a plate for your teammates, and they didn't put it away. I mean, how do you view that?
Well, that's fairly well my job because, as you know, I'm a winger. So I'm here to make assists, score goals, so that's what I've done.
Well, again, as we thought it would be a tough game. We didn't create as much chances we wanted. I think we wanted to play down the middle. We didn't play out wide to get the overload on the wings, and that made it easy for the Harbour View team. But all in all, I think it was a well-deserved game.
In your team, you have the league's leading goal scorer, Trevante Stewart, with 13. But this is the second game that a team has kept him quiet and kept your entire charges quiet. What do you make of that?
Well, again, I think frustration might creep in a bit. He has set his target, and for 2 games now, you know, he's been joining it. So I think a little bit of frustration, but I think he'll get past that.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with the effort my team put in today. We shot on attackers in the roster for today, you know, so it was heavily midfield based. But we knew that as the game went along, we had to make a couple of adjustments to suit the situation. Some of our players are not on top form, so it is good that the substitutes can come and put in a shift as well.
I saw you looking to go play over the top at times or direct to Stewart when he was on the park.
Yeah.
And what I didn't see happening was runners beyond him or support coming quick enough.
That is a coordination that that is going to take a little time because we're not accustomed to him as yet. But in the previous game, he was doing a lot of that, and persons still should have been moving, but it wasn't happening today. But that is something that we can use as a tool going forward, and we can fix it.
This is highlights from Matchweek 15. We take our first break. JPL 30. We'll be right back. Welcome back to JPL 30 with highlights from Matchweek 15. Aaron Elliott came off the bench to score a late brace to give Chapelton Maroons their first win in 9 games and first since new head coach Clovis de Oliveira took charge 3 match weeks ago. Tivoli Gardens were wasteful with their efforts, but Elliott got 2 opportunities, which was well taken. Here are the highlights. Donald Oliver and Chris Taylor were the voices on commentary.
Hello and welcome to the Ashenheim Stadium here, the home of Jamaica College, as we anticipate the first game of the doubleheader here on this Monday evening. Chapelton Maroons going up against Tivoli Gardens. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Chapelton Maroons. Between the sticks, Michael Harrison, the back 4 of Shane Watson, Ronaldo Christian, Osani Ricketts and Tajay Brown. In the middle of the park, Evan Taylor, Rashawn Rich, Kenelda Brown, Malik Stevens and Alex Gale behind the striker, Jaleel Evans. Tivoli Gardens starting lineup sees Nicholas Clark between the sticks. In front of him, Keena Simpson, Odin Pennicook, Christopher Matthews and Alton Lewis. In the middle of the park, Anthony Nelson on the left, Justin Dunn on the right, Kevin Garnett and Howard Morris in the middle, and up front, Nakil Wright alongside Wadika Wellington. As we take a look at the full-time highlights here, Tivoli Gardens had quite a few chances in the first half. Alton Lewis with a hit there that was straight to Michael Harrison, and then another opportunity here for Tivoli Gardens, and this one was driven wide of the mark. Alex Gale was instrumental in the first half, placed that one on a platter for the St. Lucia Evans, and Evans couldn't keep that one down. Wellington's effort again hitting that one straight to Michael Harrison, and then the free kick from Wellington just over the crossbar, and this was set up on a platter for Alex Gale, but just bounced over his leg. And then the ball played inside, looking for Wellington. Wellington missing another opportunity there. Probably should have headed it back where it was coming from. And then an opportunity for Malik Stevens. There was a shout for a penalty. The challenge came in after the shot was taken. Stevens then sending this one inside. And then there was an appeal for a handball against Pennycook. And this is Lewis coming on as a sub. That was going goalwards, but it was blazed away by Tivoli. Gale had a much better second half, providing the assist to Aaron Elliott off the bench. Coming on pretty late in this one, scoring in the 83rd minute. Opening his account this season. That was a good finish. It was a wonderful run, first of all, and then a beautiful finish. And the coaching staff relieved, at least once it was. And then Elliott did well to find Mark Lewis, but Lewis wasn't composed enough to put this game beyond doubt into the side netting. But who was composed? Elliott. The keeper was off his line, and it's a wonderful chip, you know. Beautifully done. So composed with that one, and he knew it was going in. And then the celebration. Calm and cool. He was brilliant tonight, Aaron Elliott.
Well, it's a wonderful feeling to know that we were well in need of this victory, and to know that I came on as a sub and did the job for the team. It's an overwhelming feeling.
Of course, you're here on loan. Earlier this season, you were with Cavalier and playing more in the midfield. But how much do you enjoy playing up front in that striker position?
Well, the transition it's pretty simple, you know, because I'm a natural striker, and the transition is good. It's a nice
and you know these grounds very well, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Seeing that I'm a past JC student.
I think what happened is that we have a poor game, but I think we make the referee get the better of us. Instead of playing the game, we start to play about the referee, and that's in modern football. You have to play, because if you score the goal, the referee cannot take it out. So once we're scoring goal, the referee could not look at the referee, and I think that was a simple energy.
And in the first, you had created quite a few opportunities in the first half, which you didn't take. But in the second half, Tivoli seemed a bit flat, especially out of the blocks.
Well, I think first half I talked to them that we have a bad game, and second half we know when at the first we play two bad half of match, so we have to just look into that and see what we can fix now.
It's very good, of course. Winning always is great for whole aspect. Encourage the player, give you confidence all the group, and you got three points. As I told before the game, it's going to be very, very hard, but we're not going to give up. Group, our staff, our player, we're going to work as hard as possible, try to keep Chapelton and the Premier.
And not only did you get the victory with 3 points and scoring 2 goals, but you kept a clean sheet, which shows a level of discipline from the team.
Yeah, that's the most I introduced when we came here. Myself and Professor Gabriel as my assistant, that's what we're trying to do it. And it's great to see the group of the player happy, celebrate, but football, not surprise. Win the game, a wonderful victory. They didn't have a clear chance, as we had a few of them. That's making us a lot of confidence. But what I'm going to tell him, celebrate today, good dinner, but tomorrow start our work hard again.
All right, keep up the good work, Clovis. We look forward to seeing you in the weeks to come. All the best.
Thank you very much. I just would like to leave a message for Jamaican fans, mainly for Chapelton Maroon supporter. We need you to come together with us. It's very important for the team.
Cavalier started the brighter of the two teams, having a fury of shots on goal, but in the 70th minute, Chanel Thomas found Anderson with a sublime pass. Here are the highlights. Donald Oliver and Chris Taylor were in the commentary box.
It's Monday Night Football here at the Ashenheim Stadium, the home of Jamaica College. It's Cavalier against Vere United. Now let's take a look at the Cavalier starting lineup. They are working with a 3-5-2 formation. No Richard King, who got a red card out in the last game against Arnett Gardens. Vina Bartlett in goal, Giovanni Leng Kyle Ming. Brian Elshot is the one who replaces King in the back line in the middle of the park. Christopher Ainsworth, Samuel Shakes, Jerome McCleary, Dwayne Atkinson and Ronaldo Webster behind the strikers Colin Anderson and Chanel Thomas. Vere United starting 11 sees Roger Williams between the sticks, Kieran Henry, Donovan Clark, Victor Cummings and Kemoy Phillips, the back four in the middle of the park, Shaquille Notice, Corton Wright and Lamar Neal with a couple of goals to his name. Sean Campbell, Romario Bryan and Orlando Lawrence, they are the trio up front for Vere United. As we take a look at the full-time highlights here. Long ball over the top and Atkinson was busy in the early stages of this one, putting that one over the bar. Then Thomas looking to work the space, almost provided it on a platter to Colin Anderson. That was a wonderful save from Roger Williams, who made himself big there. The combination will work well a little bit later on in this game. Then the ball sent inside, looking for Ainsworth, who struck the woodwork. Lovely floated ball inside, and Roger Williams was motionless between the sticks. Ainsworth sending this one inside, looking for Colin Anderson. Ainsworth had a really good game. Anderson with the header over the top. And then McCleary with the dink inside, and Atkinson with the header. Williams had to make the save again, but that was a wonderful ball from McCleary. And Atkinson did a lot, but not enough. And then this effort from Fitzroy Cummings wide of the mark as he barreled that one through. Vere United had an opportunity here and lofting that one over the keeper. Keon Henry, it seemed. But it was wide of the mark on that occasion, and then the goal for Cavalier. Lovely ball inside from Chanel Thomas, and Colin Anderson would make no mistake on that occasion. Atkinson to Thomas, and then to Anderson. Wonderfully done. They were in the driver's seat then, Cavalier. They could have had more. Lovely work from Webster, and placed it on a platter for Dwayne Atkinson, who didn't finish his meal. And then Neal's effort, forcing a save from Bartlett on that occasion, moving smartly to his left low down.
No game is never easy, but we adjust and work together and we play well, and we came away with the 3 points as well as the clean sheet, as I mentioned. It was a good game today.
You certainly got a lot of opportunity to get forward as well. We know you like your attacking flavour to add with your defensive capabilities.
Yeah, with a Vere team sitting back, that give us more space to attack, and I exploit the space whenever I could, and yeah, that was the game today.
Yeah, I thought in the first half we were a bit cagey, played a bit too safe, weren't expressing ourselves on the ball. Second half we came into our own, lapse in concentration, and we conceded, unfortunately.
Yeah, the same player we were talking about in terms of his creative ability and so on, Lamar Neal, there were about 3 or 4 occasions where he got the ball on the 18-yard area, but just looked a bit passive, went horizontal instead of maybe a little bit more direct to goal.
Yes, it's kind of puzzling for us on the bench as well, because he's in good form, good position to take a shot and refused to. And then when he eventually took one, he's from further than those positions that presented themselves earlier. So it's kind of frustrating.
Oh yes, it was really hard work, but again, shooting let us down, make it couldn't be more easy on us. So we struggled all the way.
And it must be pleasing to see that quite a few players with good performances. The man of the match choice wasn't an easy one, because many players turned up today, even the attacking players put in a shift defensively. Ronaldo Webster, one of those players who we noticed as well.
Oh, definitely. You know, we have been working on trying to play and keep a lot more pressure on the opponents, to play a lot more relentless. So I hope you did so today, because it's something that we're working on, because we know we're going to need it later on down the stretch.
And even in terms of these difficult games, we spoke about the fact that Vere United, very difficult to break down. How important and how pleasing is it to come through this kind of difficult match and still find a breakthrough?
No, I mean, it is very refreshing, because we played a similar game against Mobile United a couple of weeks ago. Same difficult team. The coaches are very good. Rudy Dixon knows how to defend. So, to be honest, it was just a sigh of relief when we got that one goal. And that is why it get kind of scrappy near the end, because we say, you know what, we get one, we're not sure of another. Let us consolidate and keep this one.
Results from the non-televised matches are Arnett Gardens defeated Portmore United 2-1. Humble Lion were also 2-1 winners over Malines United, and Waterhouse emphatically got the better of Montgomery United with a 3-0 victory. The table remains as it was at the end of last match week. Mount Pleasant, Arnett Gardens, Cavalier, Humble Lions, Harbourview and Dunbeholden rounds up the top 6 as they continue to fight for the playoff spots. That's all we have for you this week. This has been JPL in 30 on CVM TV. Tune in next week for Matchweek 16 highlights of the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel.